You use AI every day, but I guarantee the most people can explain the difference between machine learning and deep learning and LLM. And if you want to actually build things in tech or just stop nodding alone when someone says, we should add AI to this, that's a problem. My name is Lydia, and on this channel I break down technology in the way it's interesting and easy to follow. If that sounds like your thing, subscribe and let's get into it. To understand what's happening under the hood, you need a map. This video is that map. By the end, every AI term you hear will have an exact place in your head. And this is the part of a series. Each week we go one level deeper. Let's start at the top. Artificial intelligence is not a product. It's not ChatGPT. It's an entire field of science, like physics. It's the study of making machines that can perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. Recognizing faces, understanding language, playing chess. That's a huge field. And inside of it, there are subfields. The one that powers almost everything you see today is called machine learning. Machine learning is to AI what thermodynamics is to physics, a specific subfield with its own methods. Here is the key idea. A traditional program follows rules that human wrote. The logic is yours, and the computer just executes it. Machine learning flips this. Instead of writing rules, you give the program data, and it figures out the rules by itself. You don't tell it what a spam email looks like. You showed 10,000 spam emails and 10,000 legitimate emails, and it learns the pattern. Now, there are different ways a model can learn. Supervised learning means the data comes with labels, with answers attached. The model learns the relationship between all the inputs and the label. The key feature here is that the model can check its own work. It compares its prediction to the actual answer and adjusts it when it's wrong. Unsupervised learning is different. There are no labels, no answer to learn from. You give the model raw data and say, find a structure. It groups customers into clusters on its own. You didn't tell it what the groups should be. It discovers them. And there is a third type, reinforcement learning. The model learns by trial and error. It takes an action, gets a reward or penalty, and adjusts its strategy. This is how the AlphaGo learned to beat the world champion. So we have AI as a big field and machine learning as a subfield. Now let's go one level deeper into deep learning. Deep learning is a type of machine learning that uses a specific structure called an artificial neural network. The neural part comes from a loose analogy to the human brain. Think of these layers as a committee of experts. The first layers of experts only know how to see straight lines and edges. They pass their report to the second layer, who combines those lines into shapes like circles and squares. The next layer turns shapes into ear or nose. And the final layer puts it all together and says, that's a dog. It's a progression from a simple to complex, layer by layer. The word beep just means there are many layers. More layers mean the model can learn more complex patterns. In the real world, labeling data is expensive. So what do? You label small portion, let's say 5%, as fraudulent or legitimate. Then you let a deep learning model learn from that 5% and apply those patterns to the remaining 95%. This is a semi-supervised learning. Now we split deep learning into two branches. This is where the things are really relevant. Discriminative models learn to separate categories. You show them data with known answers, and they learn the boundary between groups. They take input and output a label. They're classifiers. Generative models are fundamentally different. Instead of separating categories, they learn how the data itself is structured. And then they generate new samples that follow those same patterns. A discriminative model looks at a photo and tells you, this is a dog. A generative model learns what dogs looks like and then generates completely new image of dog that never existed. Generative AI is what most people mean when they say AI today. Models like Midjourney use a specific architecture called diffusion. They are trained by taking real images and adding noise until they become pure static. Then the model learns to reverse that process. It's not searching a database, it's denoising, starting from the chaos and converging on something that matches your description. Now, let's zoom into the category that dominates the conversation: large language models. LLMs are built on the transformers architecture. At their core, they learn to predict the next token in a sequence. But this simple objective leads to incredibly complex behavior. They develop an internal representation of language and logic. They go through two phases. Pre-training is like broad education, processing the entire internet. Fine-tuning is where they specialize. You take the general model and train it on a medical note or high-quality code. Same base model, different specialization. What's the actual difference between ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini? Think of it like three chefs who all went to the same culinary school but specialize in different cuisines. Same foundation, different training data, and priorities. The AI map has one more region to explore. Three branches that are changing everything right now. First, reasoning models. Regular LLMs respond immediately. Reasoning models pause. They build an internal chain of thought before giving you an answer. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman described two systems of thinking. System 1 is fast and intuitive. System 2 is slow and deliberate. Regular LLMs are System 1. Reasoning models like OpenAI O3 are System 2. Second, AI agents. A regular LLM answers questions. An agent takes actions. It writes code, runs it, reads the error, fixes it, and tries again. It operates in a loop. Third, open source AI. You don't just have to run AI from the cloud anymore. Tools like Ollama make it possible to run powerful models locally on your own laptop. No API key, completely private. Let's zoom out and look at the full map. AI is a science. Machine learning learns from data. Deep learning uses neural networks. Discriminative models classify, generative models create. LLMs are specialized in language. And alongside them, we have reasoning models, agents, and open source local AI. Now you know exactly where everything sits. Next week, we are going inside the LLM. How does it actually generate text? Why does it hallucinate? We will break it all down. I will see you in the next one.